And because Krishna is pleased, because you're hearing Vidhu noti suritsatam, he's cleansing your heart of karmic reactions. He's cleansing it. So, stay with me. Stay with me. And as I explain, when I go sometimes to high schools and colleges, because I'm wearing the Vaishnava tilak, if you keep looking at me, that's also burning up bad karma. That's why I wear it very bright. So, keep looking. Or else look at Krishna. Because I know, I don't want to look in the mirror. You and your son kept the Pandava fire in your midst and fanned it with your words and deeds. Now your sons have fallen into the blaze like insects. So why do you weep? Since Vidura had left the palace to go on pilgrimage, Sanjaya had more and more assumed the role of the king's advisor. As Vidura had always done, Sanjaya spoke frankly and without fear. That is when you know you have a true friend. Somebody, it may be your wife, like in my case. I have a wife like that. She speaks frankly and without fear. Prabhuji, you're in Maya. Yes. And most of the time, she's right. But if you have at least one friend who will speak frankly without fear, that's actually your best friend. Not the person who always tells you, oh, you're so great, that's not your friend. You need somebody who will actually speak frankly and without fear. Rise up and attend your duties. Why do you cry for that which can no longer be avoided? All created beings will be destroyed. Everything high will eventually fall. Union always ends in separation, and life always ends in death. All creatures are like members of a caravan bound for the same country. Death will meet each of us in turn. No one escapes. Thus, it is immaterial who goes first. This again is another theme that's there when I have to speak at funerals. Some of you have heard me many times. That, yes, here is our beloved, our friend, but she's already gone to their next station. And it's mentioned here, I think it's Krishna at some point says, you could grieve for this person 1,000 years, they're never coming back. So what does crying do? It doesn't do anything. But it should be a wake-up call. What does it say here? No one escapes. I'm next. I'm going to be the next. Am I ready? Am I ready? Have I settled up all my accounts? Have I asked forgiveness for all the offenses? I ask now forgiveness. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanang bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Your sons, meeting a glorious death in the thick of battle, have surely gone to higher places. Krishna mentions that at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna told Arjuna, you should fight. Why? If you win the war, you're going to rule the earth. If you die in the war, you're going to heaven. What's the problem? It's win-win. The idea here is you have to have transcendental vision, transcendental knowledge. If you don't have transcendental knowledge or transcendental vision, inevitably life will bewilder you. But if you have knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, there, it will save you from becoming bewildered. For a Kshatriya, there is no better death than to die in battle. Your grief for your sons is unwarranted and meaningless. It will only increase if you indulge in it. So it becomes a self-perpetuate. The more you indulge, it's going to go on. Well, this next statement by Sanjaya, listen to this. Only the less intelligent allow themselves to be overcome by grief. It does not bestow any benefit upon the grief-stricken. Right? We go to a funeral, right? We cry. It's not helping the person. That's doing them no good. Rather, it deviates one from his or her duty and thwarts one's aims in life. Sanjaya had never stopped advising Dhritarashtra for his own good, despite the fact that his advice was ignored. Now that the king had lost everything, he would far likely take to good counsel seriously. Sanjaya spoke for some time, repeating the wisdom he heard from the rishis. Dhritarashtra listened attentively, encouraging Sanjaya to continue, feeling a sense of relief. Sanjaya continued, "O king, there's some very, very serious facts. This is not fake news. This is real knowledge. Listen to Sanjaya. All men receive the results of their own actions alone. By acting with a desire for profit, one attains only repeated births in this world, along with their concomitant sufferings. Those who are wise act only to achieve liberation." Last night, this was a major theme in the section that we studied last night from Srimad Bhagavatam. The sages of Naimisharanya are hearing from Sutta Goswami, and Sutta Goswami is pointing out sense gratification is not the aim of life. The aim of life is inquiry into the absolute truth. And the goal, liberation from this material world. Permanent liberation. That's actually the goal of life. Those who are wise act only to achieve liberation. Otherwise, what am I doing? I'm simply guaranteeing another birth. Think about it. You take another birth. Okay, say it's human. Okay. Now you got to go to school again. Now you got to get married again. Sometimes they say, husband and wife switch. How's it going to feel, men, in the next life when your wife wears the pants and you wear the sari? Think about it. You had better strive for liberation. By surrendering their acts unto God, they free themselves from the bondage of work. Same exact thing Krishna says in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Same exact thing. One who does his or her duty only as a sacrifice for the pleasure of Vishnu will surely rise to regions of deathlessness. where eternal happiness is enjoyed. So, going to the heavenly planets is temporary. That's not eternal liberation. You may achieve Soma, you may achieve Indra's planet, the higher, but it's still in the material world. You cannot stay there forever. You can only stay as long as you have a good, pious karma bank account. But when the account is used up, back to earth. There's that nice description in the Uddhava Gita. Krishna is describing to Uddhava what it's like to be in the heavenly planets. You have your own airplane. And on this airplane, beautiful women are chanting your name. You fly through such heavenly gardens, and you have your, like, groupies. Narantara, narantara, narantara. So you're flying, and these beautiful women are praising you, but Krishna says, when the karma runs out, head first, you fall from the plane and come back to Yorba Linda or Placentia or wherever you live. And you start over again. So when he says here, regions of deathlessness, he's not talking about the heavenly planets. Regions of deathlessness is Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, the abode of Radha Raman Bhagavan Ki. That's the abode of deathlessness. Those whose hearts are possessed by lust and greed for material enjoyment must continue to suffer. So we learn from Bhagavad Gita 3 gates which should be avoided. 16th chapter. Krishna says there are 3 gates which lead to hell: lust, anger, greed. And Krishna says every sane man should give these up. Lust means I want to enjoy this material world. Ravan is the personification of lust. So just think. I had one time, I think 2 years ago, somebody from this community, I don't know his name, but he came up to me at Prem's house, and he said, you know what? I think Ravana was better than Ram. I had no answer. I said, how am I supposed to respond to that? Somebody could actually say that? He was thinking, oh, Ram did this, Ram did that, and Ravana was better. Hare Krishna. Sometimes I've heard amazing things. Dhritarashtra felt Sanjaya's reprimand. Repenting his foolishness, he rose from his throne, but again fell to the floor. Gandhari wept silently as Sanjaya attended to Dhritarashtra, sprinkling him with cool, perfumed water on his face. Later, much later, when Yudhishthira has accepted the throne, Yudhishthira is so nice that he takes Dhritarashtra and Gandhari and sets them up as king and queen of the kingdom. And he tells everybody in the kingdom, everybody has to obey Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. So, still, even after everything, he gets to be the king. Or so we say, play. It's playing. So, after some time, Vidura, his brother, during the battle, Vidura went on pilgrimage. But after the battle, he returned. And when he saw that Dhritarashtra and Gandhari were living at the mercy of Yudhishthira, Vidura one more time spoke to Dhritarashtra, and he said, look at you. Look at you. You're old now. You're coughing up mucus. Your liver is defective. All the signs of death are there. Is this how you want to die? Living like a household dog? Come out. Go to the forest and achieve liberation. And finally, Dhritarashtra listened. So Dhritarashtra and Gandhari secretly, without telling anyone, they left the kingdom, and Dhritarashtra performed mystic yoga, and the Bhagavatam explains that he did achieve liberation. And of course, Gandhari, because he self-immolated, and Gandhari, she entered the funeral pyre, meaning she would go to the destination of her husband. In terms of Yudhisthira, I didn't get to talk about it some other time. So Yudhisthira did not want to accept the throne. So Narada came and tried to convince him. No good. His brothers, Bhim, Arjuna, Sahadev, Nakula, they tried to tell Yudhisthira, you should accept the throne. No good. Vyasadeva came and said, it is right, you should accept the throne. Krishna came and told Yudhisthira, accept the throne. He wouldn't accept. So then it was decided only one person could actually convince Yudhisthira, Bhishma. And he was still lying on the bed of arrows. It says for more than 50 days after the battle, Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows. So they all went the next day to hear from Bhishma. And Bhishma instructed Yudhisthira, this is all Krishna's plan. You should accept the duty, be the king, because it is the plan of Lord Krishna. And Bhishma said, nobody can understand Krishna's plan. You cannot figure it out. But obviously, this is what Krishna wants. You should accept it. I'll stop there as it is time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.